Hello friends, it's Edumatop. In this video, we will treat 25 very important questions on vectors and resolution of forces. If this topic has been very confusing to you, today all that will end. Stick to the end of the video because you stand to gain a lot. The first one says, which of the following is not a vector quantity? Then they give these options here. Let's start from the last one here. You have weight. Weight, the unit of weight is Newton. So weight is the same thing as force. Weight is a force, so weight is a vector quantity. You also have displacement. Displacement is distance in a specified direction. Displacement is also a vector quantity. Acceleration is vector, that is the rate of change of velocity with time. Then altitude is just the height or the distance from one point to another. It's a form of distance too, so it's a scalar quantity. And they said not, so the answer is option A. Which of the following is not a vector quantity? Which of the following is not a vector quantity? So they give us options here. Momentum is vector, force is vector, velocity is vector, displacement is vector. It's only temperature that is not a vector quantity. So the answer is option D, which is temperature. Which of the following is a vector quantity? So speed is scalar. Okay, don't confuse speed and velocity. Speed is scalar, velocity is vector. So speed is scalar, pressure is also a scalar quantity, resistance is a scalar quantity, then torque is a vector quantity. Torque just means force times perpendicular distance. It has the same unit as moment. So the correct answer to that question is option D, which is torque. Torque is a vector quantity. The next one, a vector of magnitude 7.5 Newton in the east direction is combined with another vector to give a zero resultant. What is the other vector? So from this question, that means there's a force that is 7.5 Newton in magnitude. It is acting in the eastern direction. And we are told that there's another vector that will cause it to have zero resultant. That means zero effect. So let's draw that force real quick. So you have a force 7.5 Newton acting like this in the eastern direction. And we are told that there's another force that will cause this vector to have a zero resultant. Since this is eastern direction, then that force must act opposite it like this. It must act opposite it and it must have the same value as 7.5 Newton. And that force must act in the western direction so that when you do the resultant, north south, when you do this direction minus this direction, it will be 7.5 minus 7.5, which will be 0. Don't forget that when vectors are pointing in different directions like this, you have to subtract. You subtract. Okay, but when they are pointing in the same direction, you're going to add them together because they will have an overall combined effect. So the answer will be 7.5 Newton vector, but it's pointing in the western direction. You understand? So if you check the option, it will be this answer here, option C, 7.5 Newton, but it's going to be in the western direction. That's option C. The next one says the magnitude of the resultant of two vectors is greatest when the angle between the vectors is. So now vectors can have several magnitudes. Let's take the first one together. The first one is when the vectors are parallel to each other. Okay, when they are parallel and they're acting in the same direction. So parallel and same direction. In this case, the two vectors are pointing like this. So two of them will have a total resultant, which will be the sum of the two vectors. So if it's F1 and this F2, if you add these two vectors, you have a single force, which will be F1 plus F2. Okay, so if you have something like this, now you have 10 Newton, 8 Newton, it will be a single force of 18 Newton. So you can see that the magnitude is higher. So this magnitude will be higher when the two vectors are parallel to each other, as in when they do not intersect and the angle between them is 0. Also, they also have a minimum effect, like the smallest effect, when the angle between them is 180. That is, one is pointing here and the other one is pointing like this. That's in, they act in opposite directions, and the angle between them is 180 degree. So they will have a very small effect. If this is 10 Newton here and this one is 8 Newton, because they are pointing in different directions, it will be this direction that is going to win, because this is 10, this one is bigger. So 10 minus 8, that will give you 2 Newton. But the 2 Newton will be pointing in this direction because this is the direction of the bigger force. I hope you understand. So you can see that the effect is very small. That is because the vectors are acting in opposite direction. So the effect is going to be minimal. But for it to be maximum, they must point in the same direction and the angle between them must be 0 degrees. You understand? So just check the option. So it must be when the angle between them is 0 degree. Okay, so keep that in mind. If the angle between two vectors P and Q is 0 degrees, the vectors are said to be. Now, because the angle between them is 0 degrees, like what I just discussed just now, one is like this, the other one is like this. That means they are parallel. They are parallel, they do not intersect. So it will have a very high effect, high resultant, or you can say the resultant will be the greatest. So the answer to that question is parallel. Perpendicular is when the angle between them is 90 degree. Like when the two of them are like the opposite and adjacent sides of a right angle triangle. This one is for perpendicular forces. The angle is 90 degree. For the next one, an aircraft traveled from Calabar to Kano as follows. Okay, Calabar to Kano as follows. It flew first to Ilorin. Don't forget the starting point, Calabar, and it's going to Kano. So it flew first to Ilorin and covered a distance of 300 kilometers. Okay, then 30 degree west of north, that's the direction. Let me just stop here and let me draw the diagram for you. So starting from Calabar, we're going to Kano. So I'm going to draw a cross here. So I'll draw a cross here and I'll write Calabar here. This is north, oh, this is south, east, then this is west. So starting from Calabar, then the first thing there we're told that it flew first to Ilorin and covered a distance of 300 kilometers. The direction is 30 degree west of north. So go back to your diagram. So 30 degree west of north, western side of north. This is the western side of north here. So that means it flew 30 degree west of north, something like this. On this side, put your this in there and draw a line like this. So this point here where it stopped will now be Ilorin. Let me just use I to represent it. This is also the northern side of Ilorin. This is the southern side, and this will be the eastern side. So what happened when it got to Ilorin? It then flew 400 kilometers, 60 degree east of north, 400 kilometers, 60 degree east of north to Kano. So east of north, that means it went, this is the eastern side of north. This angle here is 30. So it went 60 degree east of north. That means it went like this. And the distance was 400. So it's going to be, this one was 300. So this one will be 400. It's going to be longer than 400. So the angle here is 60. Okay. Then what are we told to do? What is the resultant displacement? So this part where it stopped is Kano. This is Kano here. Put your cross there. This is now Kano. So you're told to find the resultant displacement. Now what is resultant displacement? That will be the distance from the starting point to the finishing point. You have to join this line like this. So you just find the distance between the 2 points. So look for the distance x. So I need to know this angle that is here. So how will I find that angle? So if you notice something, this is a triangle and you can see the angle from here. If everything here is 60, this place is going to be 30 degrees, okay? Then if everything here is 30, this place is going to be 60. So all the angles here will be 90 together. So that means this shape here, this shape like this, is a right angle triangle. This shape like this is a right angle triangle. This x here will be the hypotenuse. Okay, while this 400 and 300 will be the adjacent and opposite side. So let me just redraw it like this. So it will just be something like this. Here will just be 400. This place will be 300 and here will be x. So you see how you find x, which is the resultant displacement. So this is Pythagoras theorem. So what will x be? X will just be 400 squared plus 300 squared. So you get x squared is equals to 400 squared. That will be 16 plus 300 squared. That will be 9. So you add these two together. This is 25 together. That's 25. So what will now be x? X will just be the square root of. So if you do that, that will give you 500. That's the square root of 250,000. Okay, so 500 kilometers. Can I check that in the option? So you can see it from there. That's option D. Alright, for question 8, the resultant of two forces of magnitude 4 Newton and 3 Newton acting on an object at an angular difference of 45 degrees is. So this is under resolution of forces. So you need to first of all draw a diagram. So the two forces are 4 Newton and 3 Newton, and we're told that the angular difference, that's the angle between the two of them, is 45. So it will look like this. So this will be the 4 Newton force. This will be the 3 Newton force. So the angle between them is 45 degrees. You understand? So you have to find the resultant. To solve this, you need to make these vectors follow each other. As in, like if one is going like this, it should follow the second one. Can you see? The resultant will now come in this direction to block them. Take note, this one will follow this one like this. Then this one will block their paths. Okay, so to do that, I need to move this force, this 4 Newton force. I will move it to the ending here, to the head of this one. If I do that, it will now look like this. This will not be 4 Newton. So the resultant will come from here and block these guys like this. You can see the direction. So this one is like this. This one is like this. Following this one. This one will now block them. You get? So the resultant is the magnitude of this line. This angle 45 degree, it will not be here. It's going to be outside here. Because these lines are parallel. It will be outside. So you need to find one that is inside here. To find that, just do 180 minus 45 degree. That's angle in a straight line. So let me just redraw it real quick. So it will just look like this. You have 3 Newton here, 4 Newton here. Then this is the actual direction. This is the resultant we're looking for. So for the angle, 45 degree will be outside here. But the one inside here will be 180 minus 45. That's 135. So you can now use cosine rule now. To use cosine rule is a squared is equals to b squared minus 2bc cos a. Though there are no a and bc here, but 3 Newton can take it as b. C can be 4 Newton, then a will be r. You get, so the angle facing r will be 135. That will be this big a here. So I'll just say r squared, 3 squared plus 4 squared minus 2 times 3. So if you finish this up, your r squared will be, this will be 9, 16, 2 times 3 is 6 times 4, 24. Cos 135 has the same answer as cos 45. You understand? Remember that these two angles, they add up to 180. So they have the same answer. And cos 135 in the second quadrant is in the second quadrant here, where cosine is negative. So that means that cos 135 is going to be negative. It will have the same answer as cos 45, and cos 45 is 1 over root 2. You understand? Or you can say cos 45 is 0.707, the same thing. So let's write 24 times cos 135, that will be minus 0.70. So it is negative because the 135 is in the second quadrant. So this minus and this minus will give me plus here. 9 plus 16. So that's 24 times 0.707. So you can press down with your JAMB calculator. That will give you 16.968. Then you now add this one together. If you add it together, you will get 41.968. So that will be r squared. You can now do the square root. So r will just be though on the JAMB calculator you cannot do square roots, but the answer should be 6 point something, because the nearest square root of 41 is 36. You understand? So the answer will be 6 point something, 6 point whatever. Just check through the option and choose that one as the answer. So if you check through the option, you see this option C. This is the only one that is 6 point something. So the answer is 6.47. Alright, for question 9. We are told there are two forces whose resultant is 100 Newton. Okay, two forces whose resultant is 100 Newton are at 90 degrees to each other. Okay, if one of them makes an angle of 30 degrees with the resultant, you have to determine its magnitude. So you have two forces. The resultant is 100, they are at 90. So you have one force, one of them going like this, the other one going like this. So I told that the resultant is 90. So I told that the resultant is 100. So this one like this will be 100 Newton like this. 100 Newton. So this is F1, this is F2. And one of these force makes an angle of 30 degrees. So that's this is the F2 here. And this F2 is making an angle of 30 degrees with the resultant. This is the resultant here. So you are told to find the magnitude of that particular force. So to do this one, it's very easy. What you're going to do is, anytime you see you're looking for, anytime you're resolving forces, if you are resolving forces and you have a force like this, maybe this is the resultant R, then this is a component of that resultant. Let me just see Fx, and this is 30 degrees, or let me say theta. This Fx, if you want to know the value of Fx, you just do Fx R, then check the angle that is making with it. That will be R cos theta. Then if you want to do Fy will be R sine theta. I hope you understand. So because of this concept here, if you apply it here, this is F2. F2 is going to be 100 cos 30. So what is cos 30? You need to go and memorize cos 30, cos 60, memorize all this stuff, sine 60. Okay, memorize them. So cos 30 is 0.8660. It has the same answer as sine 60. Sine 60 and cos 30, the values are 0.8660. So this will just be 100 times cos 30. Then 100 times this number will give you 86.6. I'm moving the point 2 times. 1, 2. So that's this answer here.